A man gasps for breath, clutching his throat as his vision blurs. He collapses onto his desk, his hand smearing fresh ink across a half-written note. The camera zooms in on a sleek black fountain pen lying beside him, its tip dripping with something sinister. Detective Vicky stepped into the dimly lit study, his sharp eyes scanning the scene. The air smelled faintly of ink and something chemical. The victim's body slumped over the desk, frozen in the last moments of agony. On the desk, a blank piece of paper, the poison pen, and a shattered glass of water. No visible wounds. No forced entry. Just death, silent, swift, and deliberate. But there was one odd thing. The ink on the desk formed a strange, half-finished word, CHA. A dying message? Or a deception? Vicky's mind raced as he examined the pen. It wasn't just an ordinary writing tool, it had a hidden compartment. A custom-made murder weapon. But the ink inside wasn't just ink, it was laced with a rare poison that activates only when it touches human skin. Who would go through such an elaborate method of killing? The victim must have known their killer. Trusted them enough to use the pen they provided. But why poison a pen instead of just using a simpler method? Unless the murderer wanted to frame someone. As Vicky questioned the household staff, a nervous maid stammered, he received that pen as a gift. Just yesterday. A gift? Vicky's eyes narrowed. From whom? The maid hesitated. His wife gave it to him. Vicky's mind clicked into overdrive. A wife gifting her husband a poison pen. A classic revenge story. But when Vicky checked the surveillance footage, the truth hit like a lightning bolt. The wife never handed him the pen. Someone else placed it on his desk. Vicky traced the origins of the pen and discovered something chilling. It was part of an expensive, limited edition set. Only 4 such pens existed in the entire city. He quickly pulled up the buyer's list. The victim owned 1. The remaining 3 belonged to 3 different people. 1 was a professor, 1 a lawyer, and 1 a convicted forger recently released from prison. A forger who had been wrongfully imprisoned 5 years ago. And who had put him behind bars. The very man now lying dead on his desk. Vicky stormed into the forger's apartment, but the place had been ransacked. Papers scattered, drawers overturned, someone had been here before him. The forger, a man named Rajan, was missing. But Vicky found something startling, a letter addressed to the victim. The writing? Identical to the victim's own handwriting. Impossible. A dying message written in someone else's hand. Then it struck him, the ink. The poisoned ink wasn't just in the pen. It was also in the victim's system. Someone forced him to write that note before he died. Tracing Rajan's last known whereabouts, Vicky found security footage from a local cafe. The footage showed Rajan meeting with the victim, arguing, gesturing wildly. But then, another figure entered the frame. A woman in a dark coat, handing Rajan a small box. The poison pen. Rajan's reaction was odd, not surprise, but satisfaction. Was he really the killer, or just another pawn? Then came the real shock. The woman's face was familiar. It was someone from the victim's past. Someone he had ruined. Digging deeper, Vicky uncovered the ultimate twist. The victim wasn't just a high-profile businessman, he had another identity. Years ago, he had been involved in a massive fraud case, changing his identity to escape justice. And the people who owned the other poison pens? Each had a reason to hate him. One had lost their job. One had lost their family. And one had lost their freedom. The question wasn't who killed him. The question was, who got to him first? Vicky pieced together the final moments. The victim received the pen, picked it up, and unknowingly poisoned himself. But someone forced him to write that dying message before he collapsed. The unfinished word, CHA. Could it be the start of a name? A place? Or a trick meant to mislead? Vicky stared at the crime scene once more. 3 suspects. 3 pens. 1 murder. But the biggest mystery remained: who was the real victim in this story? Detective Vicky turns to the camera. The answer is in front of you. Who was the victim? Who was the real target of this crime? Comment your theories below. A dramatic pause, and don't forget to subscribe to Detective Vicky for more unsolved mysteries.